Welcome to this special investigative report. Today we are analyzing a moment that many military strategists feared, but few believed would happen so decisively. On March 14, 2026, the global perception of security in the Middle East was shattered in exactly 120 seconds. We are talking about the precision strike on Gurion International Airport, the primary gateway of Israel to the world. To understand the scale of this event, we have to look at the atmosphere in Tel Aviv that night. It was 2:47 a.m. While most of the city was asleep, the radar screens at the Palmachim airbase suddenly lit up with multiple high-velocity signatures. These weren't slow-moving drones or improvised rockets. These were advanced ballistic missiles, launched in a synchronized wave from thousands of kilometers away. In this video, we will go far beyond the surface-level news reports. We will examine the specific flight paths of these 12 missiles, the exact points of impact within the airport's infrastructure, and the alarming failure of the most sophisticated air defense network on the planet. Why did the Iron Dome, a system with a legendary reputation, remain silent as these warheads descended at hypersonic speeds? And more importantly, what does the total closure of Ben Gurion mean for a nation that functions as an island economy? This is the anatomy of a 2-minute strike that has redefined modern warfare. Let's dive into the technical details of the ordnance used. Intelligence reports suggest a combination of Fatah-1 and Khaybar-Shikan missiles were utilized. These are not your standard projectiles. The Fatah-1, for instance, is designed with a maneuverable re-entry vehicle, allowing it to change course in the final seconds of flight to evade interceptors. The attack was divided into 3 distinct waves, all arriving within seconds of each other. The first wave targeted the eyes and ears of the airport. A single high-explosive warhead struck the primary radar installation near the air traffic control tower. The precision was terrifying. The tower didn't just collapse, it was surgically removed from the control complex. Immediately following this, the second wave focused on the runways. Now you might think a runway is just a strip of concrete that can be easily patched, but these missiles were equipped with delayed action fuses. They penetrated 10 meters into the earth below the reinforced layers and then detonated. This creates what engineers call heaving, where the entire foundation of the runway is displaced. You cannot simply pour new asphalt over this, you have to excavate the entire section down to the bedrock and start over. The third and final wave was the most visually devastating. It targeted the fuel farm and the Terminal 3 gate areas. Over 70 aircraft were on the ground at that moment. The resulting chain reaction of fuel explosions created a firestorm that could be seen from satellite imagery over the Mediterranean. In less than 2 minutes, the operational capacity of the airport went from 100% to 0. One of the biggest questions emerging from this event is, where were the defenses? Ben Gurion is protected by a multi-layered shield consisting of the Iron Dome for short-range threats, David's Sling for medium-range, and the Arrow 3 for exo-atmospheric intercepts. Internal logs indicate that 31 interceptors were launched that night, yet not a single incoming warhead was neutralized. How is this possible? Analysts point to 3 potential factors. First, the saturation effect. By launching 12 high-speed missiles simultaneously on identical trajectories before they split off, the attackers may have overwhelmed the processing capacity of the tracking radars. Second, there is the issue of electronic warfare. There are unconfirmed reports that a powerful jamming signal was broadcast from a nearby vessel in the Mediterranean, blinding the ground-based sensors for the critical 30 seconds during the descent phase. Third, and perhaps most concerning, is the evolution of missile technology. If these were indeed hypersonic maneuverable warheads, the current generation of interceptors simply may not have the kinetic agility to match their terminal maneuvers. This represents a massive shift in the global arms race. If the most protected airport in the world is vulnerable, then no strategic infrastructure, whether it's a power plant in Europe or a naval base in the Pacific, is truly safe from a determined ballistic strike. Now we must discuss the long-term consequences. Israel is often described as an island economy. Because its land borders are mostly closed to trade, over 98% of its international movement depends on 2 things: the sea and the air. While Haifa and Ashdod handle bulk cargo, Ben Gurion handles the high-value economy. We are talking about the tech sector, pharmaceuticals, and perishable exports. Without an international airport, the high-tech heart of Tel Aviv is essentially cut off from Silicon Valley and London. Cargo flights that carry vital medical supplies and military components are now diverted to Cyprus or Greece, adding days and massive costs to every shipment. Insurance companies have already reacted. The war risk premium for any airline even considering a flight to the region has increased by 400%. Major carriers like Lufthansa, Delta, and Emirates have suspended all operations indefinitely. This isn't just a temporary inconvenience, it's an economic blockade. The loss of revenue for the national carrier El Al, combined with the halt in tourism, is estimated to be costing the economy hundreds of millions of dollars every single week. The question now is, when will it reopen? The official government estimate suggests 6 months for limited operations. However, independent structural engineers are far more pessimistic. The damage to Terminal 3 is not just cosmetic. The shock waves from the explosions have compromised the steel skeleton of the building. Furthermore, the environmental impact of the fuel farm fire is massive. Thousands of gallons of aviation fuel have seeped into the groundwater, requiring a massive decontamination effort before the site can be safely occupied by thousands of passengers again. Realistic projections now suggest that while a military runway might be operational by late 2026, a return to full civilian international service will likely not happen until January 2027. This event is a wake-up call for the entire world. It proves that in the age of precision-guided ballistic warfare, geography and traditional defense systems are no longer a guarantee of safety. The 120 seconds that paralyzed Ben Gurion have changed the rules of engagement forever. Thank you for watching this in-depth report. We will continue to monitor the reconstruction efforts and the geopolitical fallout. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to stay informed on the most critical shifts in our global security landscape. We will see you in the next analysis.